Game 5's out west.
Yep.
Some may say not where we thought we'd be here in Minnesota versus the Lakers, myself included.
I'm skipping breakfast.
Rockets, Warriors also in a Game 5. They continue to steal games late down the stretch as well. Something I thought the Lakers would be able to do to Minnesota late, but Minnesota's just getting things done on the back of Anthony Edwards, who's a pure certified killer. He doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
What you think, how you feel.
If you're the king.
None of it.
I love it, man. It's so important for this new school group of guys because he's old school. Is he not old school?
He's
He
awesome.
reminds you of a old school killer.
Talk to me about the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I mean, this is going to turn a therapy session. I'm in shambles. I mean, the number one thing is that Luka's got, I wrote it down. I believe it was Legler that said it was hard to comprehend. 18 assists, 14 turnovers in the series? In any event, Luka can get his at any point. I think we're talking about an issue with a Lakers locker room. Might not have the personnel, sure. Because, again, you think about Luka's game. He's not going to change his game. And I'm frustrated with dribbling the shot clock out short. He's going to be ball dominant. But it's the inability because they don't have a Lively and they don't have a Gafford and they don't have a P.J. Washington. There's no lobs. There's no trust. Gabe Vincent with a bagel. What are you doing, dude? Reeves doesn't score till the third quarter? The third? That's on the point guard.
He was awesome in the second half.
7-1 to get 15 points.
Yeah.
Great value. Unbelievable, though, that you don't have the wherewithal that it doesn't matter if he goes for 50. So now we're talking about Braun going for 38, doesn't turn into a win. Luka going for the most field goal attempts since he went against Dallas. Well, that's a regular season game against your ex, bud. Not the playoffs where we need you to not have 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 turnovers. And I could go long for him. But to me, it seems a little, you tell me, like Redick isn't as into calling as many sets. It's a little more, let's try to do the IQ feel thing. LeBron, again, disengaged in the fourth. What conversation, Tim, this is where it's at. For me, what conversation is not happening in the huddle between the 3 IQs of the Mind the Game pod and Luka? Because I think it's no one wants to upset the apple cart. He's a new toy, and they haven't locked him in yet. So maybe those hard in the huddle conversations when you see guys like Draymond getting on another teammate, it's just business. And I don't think they're having those conversations. And to throw it back to you completely here, because I'm almost done, is the Timberwolves haven't played playoff ball with this team yet. They haven't had turnover. They haven't had reps. This should have been take Luka wrapping up Minnesota in 5 momentum. LeBron going to lose 3 first-round series in a row? Run back the GOAT talk. I'm furious.
On the table.
I'm furious, man.
It's on the table. Look, they dominated that game for a vast majority of it through 3 quarters. Dominated on the back of Luka having a really good offensive game, and he was doing his thing. You have to get – I know this is what everybody's been talking about. They were up 10, I believe, going into the fourth.
Yeah, double digits.
You have to get those guys 3 minutes of rest. I know you're trying to maintain the 10-point lead, but I would swap out getting LeBron and those guys some rest and relinquishing 4, 5, 6 points of the 10-point lead to know they're going to be fresh coming down the stretch.
I like that.
We've been here year in, year out with Luka Doncic and conditioning. He's not in good enough condition for the style of basketball that he plays to go deep into games and deep into the playoffs night in, night out. Until he shows up like Kawhi Leonard and Jimmy Butler and those guys, or doesn't look like it but is in shape like Jokic. People were talking about Jokic is very good at not showing that he's tired and continuing to stay engaged and play ball. The reason he shot the fall away 3 with 8 seconds and AG dunked the air ball, the reason he didn't celebrate, he was on empty. He's exhausted. People are like, why didn't he celebrate? Jokic is so low-key, haha. He was going to pass out. Yeah. So we keep coming back to this Luka thing and conditioning. They're never going to do anything until he gets that in order. But it's tough to have him play 24 straight minutes, regardless of if you're LeBron, who's in tip-top shape, or not. It was clear LeBron was using all of his energy on defense. Clearly, he decided that. He's like, I'm literally going to play defense only. And I'm going to defer to AR, who's been really good in the second half, and I'm going to defer to Luka, who's been really good all game long. And Rui's knocking down shots, and so on and so forth. But down the stretch, they just ran out of gas, and I think they show up massively, especially early on in this game coming home.
Like, let me ask you this: is Minnesota beating the Lakers, or the Lakers beating themselves?
No, the Minnesota Timberwolves have been playing really good ball as well.
Have they given?
They blew them out in Game 1.
Have they given you any thoughts looking at Minnesota? You think Minnesota's winning this series? I mean, it's very tough to win 3-1.
Yeah, I think they are.
So, how you look at Minnesota moving forward? I mean, because if Anthony Edwards again takes down Game of Thrones,
Minnesota Golden State would be really good. Because I think you have two alphas in Jimmy versus Ant, which would be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
If Anthony Edwards is hitting jump shots, let's pack it up.
Do we know the ceiling of Minnesota yet? Because Jew came in, new rhythm, banged up a little.
Are we going to talk about Julius?
I mean, Julius Randle is not playing Knicks playoff basketball right now.
He's been awesome.
He's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, 5 or 6 dime games too.
No turnovers. You could pencil in Julius Randle for 4 skull-numbing turn. Like, what is happening? Kicking the ball out of bounds, just dropping the ball out of bounds. He hasn't been doing that in Minnesota. He's been really, really good. Shout out Julius Randle.
Any thoughts on? I guess we'll put a button on it here. LeBron's never lost back-to-back.
Minnesota gets the dub in Game 6. Lakers win by 7-8 points at home, I believe. They start off extremely well early, and they continue that.
Last thing I just want to complain about, 7 seconds left, and Luka's jogging up the court like it's a European Tuesday.
He's exhausted.
But
he's exhausted.
There's 7 seconds left in the game. He gets trapped by Nas. Remember the play? I mean, he literally gets run off, then trapped, then has to quick dish it to LeBron, who had the wherewithal to quick dish it to AR. Still got a shot, but it's like
exhausted. He's exhausted. He walked up to Jaden McDaniels and fell down.
I mean, I made the joke. This man's going from his 20s to 30s. We've been here. Your frame does not go better. It goes worse.
Now you sound like Nico Harrison.
I mean, does the guy get any apology if the Lakers lose in the first round? And this was the most heat he had to get through because Kyrie injury, the AD injury. I mean,
I think
apology.
I think this is gonna come down to how he shows up next year. New team,
Luka,
new start. We've heard what everyone said about you in Dallas. We heard the worry. Now, how are you going to show up next year? Like that is, we're talking about years and years in a row of Luka, MVP favorite coming into the season. Like once again, I think for the last 5 years, he's been the MVP favorite coming into the year. He's run out of gas. He continues to run out of gas. The finals, completely and utterly
gas. He emptied the tank on the Timberwolves. What's interesting is Lakers, put a button on that, and we'll get to Golden State Rockets, is Laker fans are the opposite of low self. They're the opposite of Cleveland Brown fans. I call them coastal elites.
Yeah.
We have seen stars come in. We've seen stars come out. We've seen stars work. We're not. Luka Doncic isn't bigger than the purple and gold. If you are in Santa Monica eating burritos and drinking beers, get off our team. Get off our team. I do not want to watch exhaustion when you're getting paid over $300, $400 million. And you're on LeBron's team, the guy who puts $1 million into his body annually, and you don't have any receptors go off. Maybe I'll work out with the king. Like, did we ever see any workout videos of LeBron and Luka?
Post-bubble,
Oy.
I've had the same conversation every single year about Luka's conditioning at the end of the season. It's not good enough. Every year post-bubble, and he was like 22 in the bubble. Or 21.
If you're running a team and you're the GM, does that get under your skin a little bit?
We just saw it happen live.
I know. I'm just curious. Like, this is, if we're watching a condition, granted, I think he had the flu, is sick, like, got to push.
And now we're holding Luka to an extremely high standard. But, like, this guy is supposed to be winning MVPs and titles. And I truly believe the only thing holding him back is conditioning.
It's nasty.
Like,
You're
it's not
right.
game. It's not, you know what I mean?
For the last 5 years, he's been the favorite for MVP,
Yeah.
and it's usually plus 400 or lower. So
Yeah. It's like, oh, Luka's going to come in. He's going to put up massive numbers like he always does. And conditioning just hasn't been there.
Let's talk Rockets Warriors. Rockets. Jalen Green might be the most fascinating bucket getter, non-bucket getter, game to game. I don't know how you go for 38 and then you go for 9. I don't. But the Rockets, again, and I said this, I nothing to really praise, but they're a young club and they overachieved. I mean, a 2 seed's incredible for Ime's culture. To me, it's more about the Warriors.
They got the Fred VanVleet game, too.
They got the Freddie
game.
game.
And they still lost.
I am incredibly impressed with the Warriors. For them to win a game, again, the game 3 without buckets and knowing, this is like a regular season Warriors team before the trade and Curry's got to – they're the IQ team. They're like Peyton Manning when the physical maybe is not there, but the mental. They can pick apart a pre-snap better than anyone, in my opinion, and I think their minds are showing in this scenario. Okay, the physicalness is there. It's evident. It is a little – from a physical standpoint, it is a little Pistons-Knicks might be the second most physical series in the first round. But they're still finding ways, and that's what great teams do. Ways to win.
No question. And I'll say it because no one else has said it.
Yeah.
Outside of last night when Asur Thompson did a really good job against Brunson, the Thompson twins have been getting torched offensively. Coming in, they were talking about, you're going to meet Amen Thompson. There was people, the Curry stopper and all this nonsense because Curry had a bad game in the regular season coming into the playoffs. Amen Thompson has been getting torched. All right? So, Steph Curry, supposed to be in a really tough matchup, has been winning the matchup game in, game out. Draymond Green continues to make impact plays. If you like his style, if you like his game or not, I would say...
I love his game.
I would say he knows everything he's doing, he knows what he's doing. He knows rolling Draymond, rolling his legs over. There's a high % chance he's going to be hitting this guy in the either upper neck or his head.
The Easton play when he's rolling on? Yep.
These are never accidents. And if they are, his reputation doesn't allow for them to be accidents.
Facts.
So, all the stuff that he gets away with and what he does is really tough against younger teams as well.
Great
thought.
There's
they're doing what they need to do to get W's. Jimmy
comes
answers
back.
the bell.
That's a bad Curry game and a great Jimmy game.
Yeah.
I want to talk macro with you on the Warriors because I do think they're the team that can sleep the Thunder. What would be your biggest maybe I could see it with the Warriors and the Thunder if you were to give me like a hypothetical?
Yeah, Jimmy Butler is shooting 16 free throws a game. Shea's shooting 8. And Steph is knocking down a lot of shots, and they maybe get a little tight under the collar, under some pressure. Isaiah Joe and those guys. But I think there's a really good chance that the Thunder are out in front and dictating in a lot of these games, and Steph is playing catch-up, and Jimmy and those guys are playing catch-up, trying to keep up and trying over and over to get clear, quality offensive looks. And that's just a bad recipe against the Thunder.
Well said. We got a little Steph LeBron here. Quick question. Any thoughts on these two stars after the season? I mean, Steph's in the middle of a playoff run. He looks great. LeBron, any thoughts on either?
They both look great. There's still a lot left. There's still a lot left in the tank, I think, for both of them. Especially the Steph Curry's game is a lot more running than LeBron's. I think I don't have the number, so I can't say the stat, but when Steph plays over 40, it's bad news.
Yeah.
He's not as efficient. They tend to lose. Like he needs to get his 37, 38 minutes, and that's when he's just, regardless of who's guarding him, he's just really effective because he knows he's mastered how to get space and move without the ball. And now they have a guy in Jimmy that they could just literally toss it down to on the nail, and he could just figure out what the best play is and get them either a quality look or he gets to the free throw line, or he lays the ball up.
Last question. Is LeBron a Laker next year?
He does have an opt-out in the summer and can kind of, leverage some folks out. I would say so. When LeBron went to the Lakers initially, which is 5 years ago?
No, 7th season.
Which is crazy.
I'm like, time is flying.
He was okay with his legacy then. I think, if somehow they said, if for some reason they said, you go to LA, you don't win any more championships, and you lose in the first round, I think he would have been okay with it. He was going to LA for quality of life for his kids, for business. I think when he went to LA, he was okay with his legacy then. There's no reason. He's not going anywhere else, in my opinion, to start over and do anything.
Fun
else.
question, though. If he did pick somewhere to win now, he's like, I'm going back on that. I want one more ring.
The Thunder.
Really?
Yeah, the Thunder. He'd be awesome over
that
there.
Wouldn't work, but any thought where he could actually go and still get 40, 50 mil?
Actually opt and get 50 mil?
Like Rockets could be
I
a
always
destination.
think it's funny about a lot of these guys, too. Like, oh, yeah, man, I just want to win rings. Then, why don't you take $10 million and go pick a squad that
and go
you
win
could
a
fit
ring.
into? But, it's the pride thing and it's the ego thing, which I get. But, yeah, I don't think that's what I'm saying. He's stapled into his legacy. He's not into getting a passenger make LeBron smaller to get another ring. I'm either going to be a big part making the max in a big market, or I'm okay with not winning.
There it is.
I found that Steph number real quick because when he plays under 40 minutes in his career, he's got a 67.4 win percentage. It's 606, 293. Crazy.
Wow. Yep.
Under 40 minutes, he's got a losing record. Over 40, sorry. Over 40, he's got a losing record, and it's a 41% win rate. So very stark.
When we're talking about Luka and guys being in shape. You could be in tip-top, the best shape in the world. If you got to run around with the best defenders in your pocket for 45 minutes, you're going to get tired too.
Yeah, not championship ball.
There's been times throughout the years when Kerr has to go to Steph for 44, 46 minutes. Never works out really well. He starts to get tired. Those legs start to get tired. The looks, you need your legs for those deep looks coming off pin downs, pump, dribble.
Right.
So, yeah, if they can continue they can compete with the Thunder if he plays 37 minutes and Jimmy is doing the same and they're getting to the line, and that's how he continues to get good looks, is when he's a little fresher.
Well said. All right, Game 5 breakdowns, Juice Bar. Make sure to check out the Juice Bar across all mediums. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. Sean Little at Chicago Flow. Alex Monaco at Moneyline Monaco. We are rocking every week at MSG Networks. Tune in.